All right, so restarting that, and let's see if that works.
I'm
this
attending
time.
the meeting from orbit.
We have sound. All right. We have sound. Yes. And we have Mike. Excellent. Perfect. Good timing, Mike.
Woohoo!
All right. All right. Now broadcasting on Dementia Radio now and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the FuMPCast. Luke Ski will not be joining us this week. He's off at San Diego ComiCon. I just found out 9 minutes ago. So, welcome to episode 788 of the Funny Music Podcast for Thursday, July 24th, 2025. Title of this week's episode is Dashing Fairies, and your job, should you choose to accept it, is to work that into our conversations this evening. And by you, I mean you, Mike Renneker and Tom Saloka of the Belle Isle Rats. Welcome back.
Hey!
Glad to be back. It's been a while, so it's always fun. Always a stone gas.
Indeed.
What he said.
Feels kind of lonely though. There's no Luke. I mean, it feels a little bit lonely. I mean,
It does.
We love your company and all, but it just feels, well, you know.
It's a very different
cool,
show
though.
without Luke. You know, it's just a very different vibe. So, yeah, as I mentioned,
Yeah.
Luke is off at San Diego Comic-Con having lots of fun, I'm sure, and probably spending lots of money, I'm sure. But we'll hear about that next week.
Well, I'm watching my Detroit Tigers get beat again today. They were the hottest team in baseball. Now they've lost like 10 of the last 11 games, and I'm just
Yikes!
I'm just reeling. But I'll try to keep that, you know, out of the situation here.
That's fine. That's fine. We can veer off into sports. I don't care.
All right.
All right, let's do the catch-up
But now
thing.
I'm taking my clock up to a little.
You taking your what?
Never mind. Go ahead.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what? Oh, he's right.
All right, so what have I been up to? Well, I've been doing my I signed up for this audiobook narration course a few weeks ago, and one of the things you get when you sign up is a microphone sock, which is this thing here. It's literally it looks like a sock. It looks like a child's sock. And I don't want to take it off because it'll make too much noise. But you'll notice I'm not using the big windscreen anymore. And the filter that used to be on this microphone was kind of useless, which is why I had the big windscreen. And that thing was always getting in my way and stuff. And so I like this much better. And it allows me to get really up close to the microphone when I need to. So I like this thing. It's I'm sure it's like a 30-cent sock, but I mean it works great.
It doesn't take much to be a windscreen.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, it sounds great. You know, it actually deadens the sound a little bit, because one of the things I had to do for the audiobook class was measure my room noise. So I went into my sound booth, closed all the doors, and just recorded the room noise. And in order to be approved by Audible, you have to stay below negative 60 dB. And my room was bouncing between negative 64 and negative 56-ish. So I'm right where I need to be. I just got to pull it down just a little bit. But that's with the furnace running, which is right there. So when I turn the furnace off, it goes down to like negative 68. So I'm fine. But I'm hoping.
Do they allow you to? I say, do they allow you to digitally remove the noise or no? Because there's plugins that can take that right out of there.
Yeah, I'm probably, especially since it's so minimal amount of noise. But the course I'm using has, you know, they want you to do a specific way, and I'm going to do it their way for now, and then later I'll make adjustments as needed. I got through their their editing process yesterday and today. Holy crap, that is powerful stuff. So, I mean, I'm very excited to actually start recording audiobooks now. The other thing I did last week...
What made you decide to get into that? What made you decide to get into that?
I did it a little while ago. About 10 years ago, I did some narration. I did 2 episodes of Escape Pod, which is a sci-fi podcast. I did a book for my father, and I did a novella for a friend. And it was fun, but it was a lot of work because the editing just takes so long. But at the same time, it's something I can do, and I need money, and that pays money. So if I can get into it and, narrate a couple of books, I can make a little money on the side. And the reason I signed up for this course was because they promised this, revolutionary audiobook editing process. And I was like, all right, I kind of have to see what it is, because that's kind of been the thing that's holding me back. Because when I see a book, it's like, oh, we're estimating this book to be about 10 hours. And I'm like, yeah, that's between 40 and 60 hours of narrating and editing. That's a lot of time that I don't have. But their process really does, take a lot of the time out of it. So I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'm actually planning to reach out to Escape Pod again and see if they would like me to do another one, just so I could have a modern short story with my current setup, current microphone, current sound booth, because the ones I did for them 10, 12 years ago, whatever, I recorded like in the middle of my basement, no soundproofing, with a different microphone. And I mean, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound like I can do now. I'm capable of much better sound quality now. So I want something modern. So
what about those like a little box I've seen before, where it's like a box that's open on one side and it has foam inside.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like having like a tiny anechoic chamber. That's
yeah,
meant
kind
to
of.
have someone singing. You could be in a basement that's all reverberant, and it would really minimize that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen those. That's what I kind of built under my stairs. Is I put up I put up walls and a ceiling, but I used sound dampening insulation, sound dampening drywall, and then sealed everything, and then put up treatment, those the foam pyramid thingies on the walls and on the ceiling. And it's very quiet in there, and it sounds great. So I'm very happy with it. I just need to get the noise level down just a tiny bit more to keep to not have to worry about the furnace running. Because I'd like to be able to not worry about the furnace rather than having to shut it off every time I do a narration. It's not the end of the world, but still, I would just rather not have to worry about it. So I'm going to try to seal the doors. I think that's where the sound is coming in.
That would make for a cold reading, wouldn't it? Oh, ouch.
It would, but that's not the title of the show.
Oh.
I've already forgotten it, so I'm not going to get it.
It's in the chat.
Something fairies.
Okay. Something fairies, something. So the other thing I did last week was I drove to Connecticut, and I saw Weird Al Yankovic perform at Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. My God, what a great show. If you have any chance to go see him on this tour, go see him on this tour. It was a fantastic show.
I've seen snippets of it on social media, and it looks great. Like every song, he's got like a costume change and a theme, and dancers and stuff like that. It looks really, and man, I saw clips from him. It was Madison Square Garden show.
Yes,
and he packed the place.
He sold out.
It's like
Madison Square
Weird
Garden.
Al packed. He sold out Madison. That man has arrived. I mean,
yes,
he's still the best guy out there for comedy music, and I'm glad to see it. I mean, he's such a good guy on top of it all. I'm just really glad to see him reach this level of success.
Yeah,
he's the OG.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's
So,
done the like the costumes and videos and stuff before, but now he's actually expanded the band. So instead of his usual band, he's got 3 additional women and 1 additional man on stage with him, and they each play a variety of instruments, which allowed them to play songs that they've never been able to perform before. So, you know, that's a lot of fun. And like my favorite part of the show was when they did Smells Like Nirvana, which is my favorite parody of his. And so I'm, you know, psyched that they're doing Smells Like Nirvana. 2 of the women dressed up like the cheerleaders, and the guy was dressed up like the janitor, just mopping the floor over on the side of the stage from the from the video. And I was like, that is fantastic. Like that, I'm done. Like that's great. So,
but there were no dancing fairies.
There were no dancing fairies.
Or dashing fairies.
Yeah. There were no dashing fairies either.
Okay. No, yeah, I actually saw that was one of the clips I saw was the Smells Like Nirvana thing with the guy in the mop and stuff like that, and
so
it's
good.
just
Such
yeah,
a
I was
great
just
show.
so glad to see it.
It's probably old news for you, but this is the first time we've been on since Dr. Demento announced his well-deserved retirement.
Indeed.
That's,
Yes.
How many years did he go?
55. It'll be 55 years in October, and he's ending the show in October.
That is quite a run.
That is indeed.
And most of that too, most of that was on terrestrial radio. I mean, when he was syndicated for all those years. I mean,
Yeah, I think
I
it
remember
was
even through the
2012 when he
the
moved,
70s.
or
Yeah.
2009. It was somewhere around in there somewhere. Right around the 2010 mark was when he switched to all streaming.
Yeah. Well, so one of my favorite memories that I had this group called Chuck Lucky and the Gentlemen of Leisure. It was a project I did with my brother, and we had this song called Dead Elephant Dance that made the Funny Five for about 4 weeks in a row. Never got to number 1. But I remember it was 1995, and he played it. My wife and I were like jumping up and down the bed. Hey, we're on the Dr. Demento show, the top 5.
I've heard
And then
that song.
He played another one of my songs.
I've heard that song. I didn't know that was you.
Dead Elephant.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, Dead Elephant Dance, Chuck Lucky and the Gentlemen of Leisure. My brother Dave invented this like computer animated lounge act, and I wrote a whole bunch of songs for it, and that one was on there. And I had a song called Ball Slicer back in 1988, and he played that on Easter Sunday of '88. But he didn't play it on the national show. He used to have a local show on KMET in Los Angeles, and then he would have the national show later. That Ball Slicer song only made it to the local show. So anyway, that was my brush with fame with Dr. Demento.
That's awesome. I have to go back and listen to that
until
song
Belle,
again.
he still played it. Yeah. Yeah, it kept getting blown off by Everything Reminds Me of My Therapist. Remember that?
Yes, Christine Lavin. Great song.
And or Bulbous Bouffant was the other one that blew us off every week. So, anyway.
And the other
He
news.
had quite a run, man. He's a. Go ahead.
The other news in my world is I've signed with a new agent for acting. As of yesterday, I am signed with the Swain Thomas Agency in Massachusetts. I'm very excited to be working with them. So,
Huzzah.
yes. So what have you guys been up to?
So what kind of,
Well, before we go there, I'm just curious.
Hmm.
How does this agent do what he does? Like how often does he contact you, or is it just when he has a job for you, or does he give you regular updates? Or
That is
I've
to
never
be
had an
determined
agent, so I don't-
because I just signed with them yesterday. So like I've been working with him for like all of 12 hours or something like that at this point. So we're still just getting set up and stuff. I've signed the paperwork. That's about as far as I've gotten.
There's no expectations right now.
Right. Yeah. The only thing is I know is he's going to be submitting me for jobs. This agency does a lot of commercial work, so maybe I can get into some commercials. But I'm interested in getting into SAG films and TV shows and stuff to try to get my card.
Cool.
Go from there.
Excellent.
Right on.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we've been doing is just mostly. I'm just finalizing all the mixes. We have a new record coming up that we recorded over the last year, and so now I'm just kind of finalizing all the mixes. Called "Men of a Different Age," and the song you're going to hear is from there. So it just been working on that.
So when did you guys get together to record?
It was the middle of November.
Oh, so a while
November
ago.
of last year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah, we recorded. Tom came to. We just basically did the drums, and it was at the studio called 64 Sound, and it happens to be the same studio where Dr. Demento recorded his show years ago.
Oh, cool.
So there's a little connection there, but we spent like just 2 days just recording drums. I did all the other stuff just on my computer at home and here, but it was really fun working at another studio because he got a really good drum sound, and you don't have to worry about technical stuff because he's like this great engineer. Also, there's this movie called Yacht Rock, this documentary called Yacht Rock. Have you heard of it?
I have, yes.
So a lot of that was filmed at this studio. There's a lot of interview segments where they have LA people, and they filmed it at this place called 64 Sound. It's just this really cool old vintage studio. He's got all these amazing like old ribbon microphones from the 40s and stuff like that. It's just a really, really cool space to record in. So we had a lot of fun doing that. And now I'm just going through finalizing all the songs and hoping to get them out in August. And, that's stuff like that.
And Mike has been working his tail off. It's unbelievable how much effort he puts into this. And then that doesn't even count the video that he's working on right now for a track that we're not going to be playing tonight.
Okay. So, speaking of the track you posted, give us a quick intro to this song and we will give it a listen.
Well, every American at one point or another has dreamed of managing several locations of some type of business. So we figured everybody could relate to that. So that's the whole idea behind this song called Regional Manager.
Here it is.
Hey Bill, can you get those financials up to my desk by 3:15? I gotta meet this year's projections and develop new growth strategies. Let's set new sales and revenue goals, formulate a plan with tight controls, enforce compliance, company-wide, make sure those idiots don't backslide. I always wanted to see stuff like that. Time to put on my big boy hat. Since Fred got fired, you'll have to do more. Take up the slack, brown nose to board. And say, Bill, on your way back, can you pick me up a jumbo jack? I wanna be a regional manager. I'll be in charge of a couple of states. I wanna be a regional manager. And based on my review, I think I can say things are gonna go my way. Hats off to the new branch office. Last quarter was a straight up kill because of your drive and dedication. We're gonna open up another new location. Let's extend a special thanks to the hard-working women here in our ranks. You foster a positive workforce culture, even if the CFO was a vulture. I always wanted to see stuff like that. Time to zip up my big boy pants. We got mad respect for the females here who gave it all up for their career. I say, Kate, when you finish your work, can you swing by the cleaners and grab my shirts? I wanna be a regional manager. I'll be in charge of a couple of states. I wanna be a regional manager. And based on my review, I think I can say things are gonna go my way.
Can I really be a regional manager? Do I really have what it takes to supervise all those people? All the travel, the long hours, the pressure, the expectations. What about my family? Can I do it? You know what?
I think I can. I wanna be a regional manager.
I'd be in charge of a couple of states. I wanna be an original manager, and based on my review, oh, I think I can say things are gonna go my way.
Things are gonna go my way.
Very nice. So, have you ever been a regional manager?
I have
No.
Oh, yeah. I have not, but it was kind of based on this guy that I used to work at a Denny's back in Troy, Michigan. It was the first job I ever had in 1977. And their boss, his name was Mr. Hartman, and he kind of talked like this, and he was like kind of like your pasty middle-aged white guy. And he, hey, Mike, how you doing? And he couldn't believe I worked exactly 1 day short of a year. He couldn't believe I wouldn't work one more day so I could get my 1-year Denny's pin. Like, Mike, I work. Well, you'll get your Denny's pin. Like, I can't live without my Denny's pin. Anyway,
You're throwing your life away.
he became a regional manager for a bunch of Denny's in that area of Michigan. But anyways, he just was this pasty white guy and kind of talked like this with glasses and kind of nerdy and But hey, yeah, we gotta give them the quality they want. Very, very go company, go Denny's.
Yeah.
And I just kind of came in the back of my mind, So
you were thinking of him while you were writing this song?
Initially he was kind of sort of like the guy that would come to mind. Not initially, but later on, that was Mr. Hartman. But the song actually started. It was kind of weird. I was watching this Pink Floyd documentary about "Wish You Were Here," and the deal was they had just come off this massive success of "Dark Side of the Moon," and now they got a follow up to that. So they're all sitting around in the studio, and they've got nothing. They don't have any ideas. Like just sitting there, like. What do we do? We don't know. And they're noodling around. And all of a sudden, Dave Gilmour happens to do this. Those 4 notes.
It's not playing it unless you turn on original sound for musician. We're not going to hear the guitar.
Oh, how do I do that?
In your audio settings.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Go to audio profile. When you see it, there should be a listing for original sound for musicians. Otherwise, Zoom filters it out.
Sounded like a John Cage composition there.
Original sound for music. Well, I'm not going to waste too much time on this, but audio said like down here. I'm not seeing it.
Maybe they moved it. I don't know. I was just trying to get Tom to do something similar before we started. He couldn't see it either.
I'm doing it on the PC, and it didn't have that option.
Yeah, I see audio settings, but
go to the audio settings.
Okay.
And then scroll down. There should be a page. A part of the page says audio profile, and there should be a thing that says original sound for musicians. Let me see.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, I see high fidelity music mode.
Okay, maybe they changed the name of it. Try that. Okay, now here's the thing. Try it. It's probably not going to work, but try it.
Hear it?
Nope. Okay. Now, on your screen in the upper right corner, it should say something like high quality music mode off. Click that. That should turn it on.
Oh, now it's on. Okay, how about...
There it is. There's your guitar.
Okay.
It's always a two-step process with Zoom because they have to make it as confusing as possible.
Right. Okay, so where were we? So they're sitting around in the studio, the members of Pink Floyd, not having any ideas. And then David Gilmour plays these 4 notes just kind of at random. Just like... And the guys go, wait, what was that? What was that you just played? And those 4 notes... set off the whole album. That just inspired them, and that turned into the song "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," which is like multiple part. And and I just thought, man, that's really cool. So then I thought, I want to make my own 4-note part. So I'm messing around, and I come up with this. Sorry, no, but I made it 8-note. I went. And then as soon as it did, I go, I want to be a regional manager. I started talking about regional manager stuff. And my daughter, who was sitting with me on the bed, she gives me this look. As soon as it did, she looked. Because we just look like, you got to be kidding me, like the bad dad joke look. You know what I mean? So
Dad, are you stupiding it up again?
Yes, exactly. So that was the idea for that. And I thought, okay, yeah, we'll make a manager. We'll make a song about being a regional manager. That's stupid enough. Because that was kind of. I like to tell people, if you could sort of describe what we do humor-wise. I told this to Tom the other day. If you take The Far Side, Stephen Wright, Monty Python, and the Three Stooges and throw them all in a vat and mix them together and have it come out music, that's kind of what we are.
I can see that. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
And we don't do parodies and we don't do political stuff. We don't have songs that's like, think like me or you're a Nazi. We don't have stuff like that. So. Well, it's just
I mean,
kind of fell
you should, because that's funny, but
maybe you'll give us an idea. Maybe we will. I don't know, but
no, we seem to just. It's like, here's a stupid concept. Let's make a song out of it.
And I rarely rethink it. Like once I get hooked, that's what we do.
Is this a stupid idea? Who cares? Go forward.
Yeah. Like we have a song. We have a song we play. We have a song in the future. It's called the Bob Alarm. It's about a guy named Bob who just randomly sets off alarms anytime he goes into a store. That one was originally going to be called the Stupid Belle, but then I walked to a Ralph's one day and I set off the alarm for some reason. I went, oh wait a minute! I should write a song about a guy who just sets off alarms wherever he goes. So there you go. It's just you never know when stupidity is going to smack you in the face
and say this has to be a song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we had great fun recording it at the studio. Although Tom, you had a little problem with the drum set there.
Yeah, it was. I swear I've never sat behind someone else's kit and thought, oh my, they really take care of this and tune it well. It's never that way. It's always like, what the hell? It's like you gave it to a bunch, like it was a school drum set that never got attended to. Mm-hmm. And they even had the guy who owned the place, he had it covered with stickers that said, do not tune. In other words, they just wanted it to be the way it was, and that was it. And the snare was just about unplayable because it didn't have the normal rebound. So everything was just going to be real simple, just single strokes. And it was hard to do nuance because it just didn't react like a competent drum would if it was set up properly. No, I just said, that's it. I'm just going to play it. I don't care. We're just going to do this. Just slug it through. It's going to be fine. And it was.
See, I mean, you made the best. I mean, you'd never tell from the playing that we were suffering because the drum set wasn't right. But, we did actually try a different snare drum because they had a whole bunch of snare drums back there. But I think they were just for show because apparently nobody ever uses them. But we tried another snare drum and it sounded good in the room, but in the studio it just sounded horrible. Like, nah, we're not going to use this. So we went back to the other one. But
I'd love to get your take on my son's drum set because it's like a small student learner set that we got probably third or fourth hand, and we certainly haven't taken care of it other than like not abusing it. Like I don't know the first thing about tuning drums. I don't know anything about that. I had to buy a new piece for the hi-hat because something with the clutch inside just doesn't stay together anymore. So we still have to go to a music store to get that fixed. But I could just picture you walking into my basement looking at it and going, oh God, oh no, just
I'm not sure if what I said before got through, but so you said it's third or fourth hand. All I could think was there's a lot of quit in that drum set.
Yes. What's funny
One kid got is I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I bought it. We bought it for Christmas for my middle child Darren because his birthday's in October, and his birthday came, and he was upset that he didn't get a drum set. And the issue was he never told us he wanted a drum set. We had no idea. Just all of a sudden, he's mad at us because he didn't get a drum set. And I'm like, wait, what? Where did this drum set thing come? So we got it for him for Christmas.
He's acting like a girlfriend. You're just supposed to know.
Right. So he played it and, played it for a little while. And then my youngest son, Jeremy, started playing it. And Jeremy has really taken to it, and he's getting quite good. And so, like, he's off to college now. He hasn't moved out yet. He's still here, but I don't think he's touched the drum set in a year and a half. And Jeremy plays it every day, and he's learning, like, Blackened by Metallica and, you know, all these other really fast, blasty double bass songs and stuff. And he's getting pretty good. So
I got to tell you this quick story about speaking of bad drums. There was a guy at my church a couple of years ago, and we used to have a live band, but the drummer, who wasn't very good, he left, which I was thankful for. But this guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, you know what, Mike?" He goes, I play the drums. I was in a band that we opened for KC and the Sunshine Band once a long time ago. I'm like, "Oh, potential." And he goes, "But you know what? When you guys are playing, I can really feel the beat." And when he said that, I knew it wasn't going to work. There isn't a drummer alive that would say, "Oh, I can really feel the beat." Oh, God, no. But, of course, I had to give him a chance. But I gave him the pep talk. I said, "You know what? Drummer's the most important thing in a band. You know, you can have D- musicians. If you have an A+ drummer, your band will at least could be an A. But it doesn't work the other way around. If your drummer is a D- and your other musicians are A's, your band's a D-."
yeah.
So anyway, but I felt like, okay, well, I got to give him a chance. So he goes, the whole thing he said about I can feel the beat, that was the first red flag. The second red flag was, well, I don't have a drum set right now. Okay. So that was red flag number 2. So, well, I'll try to find one. So a month goes by, and first of all, I had to give him an audition tape. I gave him like 4 or 5 songs to learn, you know, that he could practice to. And then one day he texts me, and he texts in all caps. He's one of these all caps guys, and he goes, "I got a drum set. It's over at church." Okay. So I go over to church for choir practice, and I see the world's shittiest drum set sitting there. It's like the shells are all like, the plastic is all contorted like it was sitting in a garage at 150 degrees for years, and the cymbals literally sounded like trash cans. And there were some people in the choir that said, "Listen, you'll never hear cymbals this bad." And I texted him, I said, "John, I'm sorry, but there's no way this drum set's going to be heard in this church." And anyway, so finally, the day came when I had to give him an audition. I think we used my drum set, and I gave him like the simplest possible song, which is just the simplest beat. Within 12 bars, he had reversed the beat. So I'm like, nah, I don't know what KC was thinking. We let you guys open for him, but this isn't going to work. So
Nice.
Yeah, it was bad. That's one of the things sometimes when somebody like wants to serve but they don't have the talent for it. That's a tough one sometimes, because you don't want to be rude to them and hurt their feelings, but on the other hand, you can't have that being heard.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny though, when I was in high school, a friend of mine played drums in a couple of different metal bands. And he had this snare drum that he found on the side of the road. Not snare drum, I'm sorry, cymbal. That he found on the side of the road that had been run over and had a big crack through it. And he hooked it up and he used it. And he wrote, the name of his band was Malicious Death. So he wrote that in Sharpie on the thing. And you talk about something that sounded like a trash can. He used it and it was like, you know.
Nice.
It was great. Somehow it worked with the sound of their band. So
I just tuned a piano for a guy today, who's kind of a well-known songwriter. He had this old upright he found on the street. Someone had like put it on the street, and it sounds good. It's really full. It's got this nice bass, and so sometimes you can find good stuff on the street. I've had other people find pianos on the street that are horrible, but this one actually sounded pretty good. So you just never know.
I've never considered the possibility of finding a piano on the street, but I guess.
Hey, it happens more often than you think. And a lot of the studios I tune for, this is been a trend the last 15, 20 years. They'll have the nice Yamaha legit piano for the legit sound, but then they'll have this piece of crap old upright when they just want color, when they just want it to sound not perfect, you know. Mm-hmm. So that most studios are kind of that way. They have both pianos. So
interesting.
Little fun fact there for you.
I remember watching the video of Weird Al Yankovic in the studio, meticulously setting up the microphone to record a toy piano, and he was like ding 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 pling 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 pling, you know. But he's like, I'm spending way too much time to record the crappiest piano, you know.
Yeah.
So tell us
that
about
makes
this new album you guys have coming out.
Well, it's just the first new music we've put out since 2021. We used to get together every year, but as we've gotten older and life takes up more time, it's been less and less, and now it's been like every 3 years. But basically got 7 songs, and they're all a little different. And what can I say about it? It's hard. It's like dancing about architecture. It's hard to talk about them unless you actually hear them. But there's a wide variety of stuff on there. We have the next one we're going to play on the next show is probably the high point of the album. It's called Renaissance Tech Support, and it's Tom's vocal tour de force.
Excellent.
And it
love
sounds
those.
like it sounds like, yeah. And actually, I'm working on the video right now. I got to tell you though, I use Chat GPT a lot, not to do any of the creative stuff, but like. The Renaissance Tech Support, as far as like a research tool and an idea generator, it's unbelievable. But I refuse to let it do anything creative. But like, a lot of it had to do with like Leonardo da Vinci's life. So I had it like make me a timeline of what years and where he lived and what he did in those years, and it did. And so lately, I've been using the Google Gemini, the VO3 engine to generate videos for this, AI generate videos for this time. And the funny thing is, it makes these really cool looking images, like Leonardo da Vinci in his repair shop, doing this, painting the Last Supper and this and that. But it can't spell.
No, it can't.
It get everything.
Yeah.
Like it's like, why can't it spell? Like there's one shot of Leo's, and it says Leo's Repairs, and repairs is spelled wrong.
Yeah, anything
I have another
with
thing.
letters, it has no idea what to do.
But why is it? You'd think that would be the most basic thing, how to spell a word.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't go straightforward, then here are the letters to use.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because
somehow
I've actually
it's
tried that. Like, Photoshop has generative stuff in it, and it was one of the... I think it was one of the FuMP album covers. I had replaced the... I had Ian with beans in front of him, and I was like... I think I wanted to add the words Ninja Sex Party to his shirt or change it to something else. I forgot which. And like it just I said, change these words to this. And it changed them to like Klingon writing. It wasn't even letters. It was just I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this the old fashioned way. That's fine.
And I'm trying to figure it out because I watched a video a few months back where a guy was explaining how AI works and the detriment because of that. And he was saying that he asked it to just generate an image of a completely full wine glass. And it would always come back with it being that half full. Like when you get a normal pour of wine, it's never right to the rim.
Yeah.
And it's because the artificial intelligence is looking at other examples.
Yeah.
And all it sees is example after example of a glass of wine that's half full. And he would say, nope, that's not what I wanted. It was, I'm sorry. I want it right to the rim, being very specific. Okay, I understand. And it comes back with the exact same thing. And then it would get weird and these weird shapes would start to come in. So, but I'm not sure how that turns into not being able to use specific letters that are defined about as clearly as it can possibly be.
Well, it hasn't been trained to know that those are letters. It just sees them as like abstract shapes, and I don't think it has been learned what they are. But like the other thing I learned recently about how AI works, because one of the podcasts I listen to talks about it a lot. Like it's trained on data from the internet mostly. So like if it can't do like calculations, it's just a pattern matching thing with probability built into it. So like it sees all over the internet 2 + 2 = 4, 2 + 2 = 4, all over the internet. And then somebody on Reddit, to be a wise ass, writes 2 + 2 = 5. That's part of the data set. At some point, it's going to look at that and say, yes, of course, 2 + 2 = 5. And it's going to be confident that its answer is 5, and it's just going to be completely wrong. So that's why it gets so much stuff wrong, because it can't understand nuance, it can't understand sarcasm, it doesn't understand anything. It's just pattern recognition and predictive patterns based on what probability and stuff. Having said that, it works remarkably well most of the time. And it's I'm kind of surprised at how well it works a lot of the times.
And it's just going to get better. I mean, they're going to fix the thing. You talking about this giving wrong information. Just the other day, there's a Guitar Center here in Sherman Oaks, and back in November, some old guy ran into a fire hydrant, and it caused a big water spout to shoot water way up in the air and go on the roof of this Guitar Center in Sherman Oaks, and the roof caved in, and it destroyed part of the store. And the store is still closed to this day. You can't go there to this day. So the other day I typed into ChatGPT, "Hey, when is the Sherman Oaks store going to open up?" And it goes, "Oh, it's open now. It opened a couple months ago." I'm like, I know it didn't because they just drove by there. So I actually went back to ChatGPT and said, "Actually, no, that's wrong. You might want to look at that again because it's still closed." It comes back, "Oh, you know what? You're right. It is still closed."
Yeah.
I corrected ChatGPT and it agreed with me. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I don't know how that happens, but.
There was a story last week about some guy who runs a startup, and he's what they call vibe coding his way through the startup, where you just tell the AI what you want your program to do, and it writes all the code for you. And last week, this AI deleted their production database, and there are no backups. And
I just saw that story. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm like, okay, so you don't know how to code. You're having AI do the coding for you. Okay, let's see how far you get. Fine, but you don't do backups. And your AI has access to your production database. Dude, you're asking for trouble there. And the AI was like, "You're right. Yeah, my bad. This was my fault. I completely ignored. I did it on my own. You told me not to.
I kind of remember in the story they're mentioning that for a while it attempted to cover its ass.
Yes, it was trying to cover its tracks.
No, I didn't do it. It's like smeared with chocolate chips all over its mouth.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I didn't eat the cookie.
I'll tell you, man, the premise of that movie, I, Robot, from 20 years ago is going to come to pass. It's going to develop its own sensibility, its own intelligence, and it's going to start covering its ass and acting like real human intelligence is.
Yep. It's not even that. It's HAL from 2001.
Yeah.
I still say we're in trouble if anything like that can really take root, because it's simply impossible for us to wrap our brains around something that thinks, or at least has the ability to process things as rapidly as a computer can. Being able to do 1 trillion things in a second. We can't possibly even come close to grasping what that would be like. It would be like us dealing with a termite.
And that's just for binary computers. And pretty soon, the era of quantum computers is going to be coming, and then that's going to take the whole thing to a whole other unfathomable level of complexity and ability. So when you get AI together mixed with quantum computers,
it's either going to be awesome or the destruction of the human race. One or the other,
I would say make sure that there's a really good, easy-to-reach off switch on all of that stuff. Just even if it's an extension cord you can unplug. Just, hey, you're done,
backups,
buddy.
people. Back everything up. Multiple backups. Because some AI is going to delete the internet. And that's...
Oy vey.
So, do you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
No. Other than just our website, and when the album is done this month or next month, we are going to do more promotion than normal. At least that's the plan. But we
meaning
traditionally
right?
Some, yeah. We absolutely suck at self promotion. But I'm planning to use a little bit more, do more videos and try to get them out more, on TikTok and whatnot. That's the plan, and because I believe in us, and I think more people should hear us, and I think there's people that would really like us if they knew who we were, and because the fans that we do have really like us, or so they say. So, but at the moment, just BelleAleRats.com, and our stuff's all on all the standard streaming services. So
in sharp contrast to artificial intelligence, we are natural stupidity.
Yes. Well said.
I like it. All right. You guys don't need to stick around for the rest of the show. I got a pre-recorded interview with Phil Johnson coming up and some news and stuff. I mean, you're welcome to if you want to, but...
No, I got to take off for something, but
Okay.
It's been a joy, man. It's always fun. Always a good hang.
Thank you for joining us. We will catch you guys next time.
For having us.
Later.
This is the FuMP.
Thank you.
Keep on laughing as the woke Marxist Pope pisses off the maggots 'cause he's from Chicago. I'm gonna keep on clapping for the woke Marxist Pope. Woke Marxist Pope.
A la dee dee, a 1, 2, 3. He's Barry, he's Dr. D. And all the keys, that's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. He's Barry, he's Dr. D. Is this
Wind up your radio. Let's get demented. Gentlemen and all you ladios, let's get demented.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Let's get demented.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, Jazz Emu will be going on tour very soon, starting in Edinburgh Fringe Festival this August, where Steve Goody is as well. They will be doing a North American segment of their tour in September and then hitting London in November and December. For complete tour dates, go to jazzemu.com. Your Friend Logan is premiering soon. This is Your Friend Logan, the 4-track mind of Logan Whitehurst. This is the documentary about Logan Whitehurst. It will be premiering Saturday, August 9th at 8 p.m. at the Phoenix Theater in Petaluma, California. Tickets are available via Eventbrite if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, the following day on August 10th, it will be premiering on video on demand on Vimeo. The link is vimeo.com/on-demand/yourfriendlogan. So you can check it out there. And DVD, Blu-ray, and VHS will be available to be ordered at needlejuicerecords.com. I think they might be taking orders now and shipping it when it's ready. And the FuMP newsletter went out the other day, featuring news about the Dr. Demento tribute album we are hard at work on, the FuMP Volume 111, new releases, videos, and more. If you're not on our mailing list, you can view it online at tiny.cc/FuMP0725 for July of 2025. tiny.cc/FuMP0725. All right, tour dates. Steve Goody's in Edinburgh, so he's not doing his usual thing in at the Bluebird Cafe. Excuse me. So, Sundays online, 2 Sleeps, the last Sunday of each month on Facebook, Lauren Mayer. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com, which they will be doing from Edinburgh at like 3 in the morning, Steve's time. Wednesdays in San Francisco, California, Ben Vicini. On the 25th in Cork, Ireland, Steve Goody. The 25th and 26th in Coropolis, Pennsylvania, Toby Danger and Clearly Guilty. On the 26th in Hollywood, Northern Ireland in the UK, Steve Goody. On the 26th in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. On the 27th in Bangor, Northern Ireland, Steve Goody. On the 27th in Belfast, Northern Ireland, Steve Goody. On the 31st in Palm Harbor, Florida, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 31st in Indianapolis, Indiana, Mikey Mason. The 31st through the 24th in Edinburgh, Scotland, Steve Goody, every day. On August 1st in Fredericksburg, Virginia, Bussy. On the 1st in Rochester, New York, Worm Quartet with Devo Spice and a few other nerdcore people. On the 3rd on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring the Consortium of Genius. And on the 4th online, the Virtual Comedy Show with Steve Goody and Brad Tassel featuring Carla Ulbrich. All right, birthdays. Coming up tomorrow, July 25th, we have Austin Ashleman and Chris Waffle. Happy birthday, folks. All right, second song of the week is the new one by Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction, who was supposed to be here live, but then got offered a gig tonight at the last minute, so he's off performing somewhere right now. Here is Picnic in the Sun, Punching Nazis.
I'll pick you up in my ride. We'll head out with the breeze and the sun in our eyes. Find a pretty little spot where we can relax and rid the country abroad. I'll spread out the blanket and you pour the wine. Charcuterie tray, we'll have a grand old time. Punching fucking Nazis, a fist drive to their face, making damn sure that they always know that they're not the master race. Punching fucking Nazis so hard it gives them the runs, and then we'll sit right back, relax in the grass with our picnic in the sun. And when they throw a cig Heil, we'll give them titty twisters, then relax for a while. Nosh on some cheese while the crackers get beat, left in a big old pile. They say they've read 2 books, but they still can't read. Gotta kick them in the nuts so they can't breed. Punching fucking Nazis, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So I'll hold out my hand to help one up, pull it back and yell out of sight. Punching fucking Nazis till they're calling 911, and then a black cop gets the call and stops to join our picnic in the sun. I'll bring the sandwiches, you bring the bats. We'll smite those anti-Semites, shove those bats right up their ass. 'Cause they're so afraid of being gay, or trans, or femme, or brown. Dose their Adderall with LSD, maybe they'll come around. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a snack, then head back to the fray. Smash the face with your high heels, which they secretly like anyway. We'll be punching fucking Nazis, those humanoid hemorrhoids. The boys also proud when curb stomped by a crowd as we binge on Schadenfreude. Punching fucking Nazis while we snack on cherry pie. Ninja stars shake just like swastikas, and we'll aim right for their eyes. Punching fucking Nazis, and when we've had our fun, we'll wipe the blood off and share a kiss at our picnic in the sun.
I am here with Phil Johnson of Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction, featuring Phil Johnson. How you doing, Phil Johnson?
I'm good. Thank you for having me as always.
Happy to have you. So tell us about this song.
So, Picnic in the Sun, Punching Nazis. As most of my best songs came out, it was me singing something stupid to myself in my kitchen while making lunch. And I just started saying, punching fucking Nazis. And I thought, okay, well, that's a great hook.
I love it. I love it already.
I mean, we're all thinking those thoughts, and so I was like, well, okay, what kind of context do I put that in? And I thought, well, what if that were like a cool first date idea? Like people go to smash rooms and axe throwing. What if you went on a first date to punch Nazis?
I was thinking about smash rooms because like that would be like a great like business idea. You just get a room full of Nazis and you just beat the crap out of them.
And you just beat the crap out of them. And I thought, well, let's make it even more romantic. Let's make it like a petting zoo in a park, but it's a bunch of penned up Nazis where you can go beat the crap out of them. So you go, you take a picnic basket, you have a nice little picnic, and then you get in there and beat some Nazi ass for a while, and then you go have a sandwich and a glass of wine, and then you go beat some more Nazi asses. I thought that would be a wonderful first date. And so that kind of became just the premise for the song was this
That would be a
picnic in the
wonderful
park,
first
picnic
date,
in the sun.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, you know if you're with the right person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If she shows up and goes, "Oh, hey, Jerry," then there's a problem,
Then there's a problem. Yeah, there's a problem. Yeah. So that was it. I was just like, well, where do I take this hook and what kind of ridiculous story can I put it in? Because I have trouble writing from a place of anger, and so when I have something I'm angry about, I have to put it in sort of a ridiculous context in order to sort of make it work for the way that I write. So that's where it all came from.
Yeah, that's something I've run across with other artists as well. Lauren Mayer has said that the angrier she is in a song, the happier the music is, and like the bigger her wig is in the video. So like if she's wearing like this big beehive, she's pissed.
Yeah, nice. Maybe that's what I need. Bigger hair.
Maybe you just take your hair and put it up into a beehive or something.
Just go up. Yeah.
That would be great. I want to do this business idea now. Just a Nazi punching room. I think it's a great idea.
Oh, it would be so fun. So great. Yes. Add some axe throwing in. I'll just with it. Yeah. Rather than the wooden target on the wall.
Yes. Yeah, there is an axe throwing place not too far from me. I haven't been there yet, but you're giving me ideas.
Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. I was at a comedy festival in Las Vegas, and we went out for a night and did some axe throwing, and it was pretty entertaining for an hour or so.
Nice. You don't happen to have a t-shirt for sale that says "Punching fucking Nazis," do you? Because you really should.
I don't yet. People have asked. I don't yet. People have asked after shows. They're like, "Tell me you have a shirt for that," and I have to put that together. I did create a tote bag with a picture of a literal knuckle sandwich on it, and it says "Eat sandwiches, punch Nazis." And so I just released that to some of my inner circle fans, and so I'll probably make that available soon too.
Excellent. All right, so what else is going on with you?
Well, doing shows. Headed to Florida in a couple of weeks, ironically, to do a couple of weeks of headline shows down there. Yeah. And so that'll be interesting. So doing some touring. This month has been kind of slow, but August, September, October looks like it's picking up nicely for the rest of the year. The next single is being mixed as we speak by my mix engineer Federico, and that's going to come out probably sometime in the next 2 months or so. And that
Cool.
is it's a rewrite. This seems weird, but I have parodied one of my own songs.
Okay.
Which seems like a weird thing to do. Yeah. And so I had 20 years ago, like almost exactly 20 years ago, I wrote a song called Asshole about coworkers. And I was like, well, we have bigger things to worry about now. So Asshole 2025 is an updated set of lyrics, completely updated arrangement. And so the bones of the song are still there, but I've completely reimagined it otherwise. And so that's coming out pretty cool. It's nice and heavy and chunky and definitely on the angry side.
Nice. Does it bear any resemblance at all to the Dennis Leary song?
No, it does not. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the funny part is people would ask me that even because it was a big song for me 20 years ago when I was playing it in my shows a lot. We'd do a big sing along in the shows, the whole thing. And now I have to go back and watch some of those old videos to remember how I got everybody into the sing along because that'll work here too. And I honestly don't remember how I do it, but I did that song for a long time, and everybody really, really liked it, and I think they're gonna like it even more now. So it'll be fun. But I've been closing my shows with Punching Nazis, and that's been a good show closer as well.
Yeah, I could see that being a good close because it's an earworm. It's been stuck in my head since you posted it. So closing your set with a song that gets stuck in your head it's a great way to drive merch sales. I gotta say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that's what I always go for is that hook first. And like I said, it's usually something that I can't get out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking around my kitchen making salad going, punch it again. Well, what do I do with that? And so if I can't get it out of my head, then I know it's probably going to be a decent hook.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like I tend to be like, for my original songs, the first thing I think of is the chorus. And, I try to come up with something good that, I think has some legs. Haven't come up with anything like punching fucking Nazis yet, but maybe someday.
I mean, I don't do it as much as I could because I spend most of that singing time in the kitchen over lunch making up songs about my robot vacuum, which nobody needs to hear or wants to hear. And but
Dude,
they
you
make
make
me
a whole
giggle
album,
of songs about my robot
songs
vacuum.
about your robot vacuum.
His name is Wilbur. And so the first one is usually I will something akin to the Macarena, where I go, "Hey, Wilburino," and it just gets worse from there.
Nice. Right. Jax is insisting on saying hi, so say hi.
Nice, puppy.
Hi.
Hello, puppy.
All right. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Anything to plug? Yeah, go listen to this song in all the places. And actually, I have a new Inner Circle program for my fan community that is absolutely fantastic. So if you go to philjohnson.streetteam.fm, that is our new home base for everything. We've got a nice fan community. There's a free level that you can join at to just come in and hang out in the community, and you get a whole bunch of early access to all the stuff that I'm working on and behind the scenes stuff. Show videos, and then I do have some Patreon style levels that you can join up at as well to get bigger perks and more time with me. So it's all fun.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback. Madman wrote, I can also relate to not having seen a full Weird Al show in years, missing the strings attached toward due to bad timing. YouTube videos posted of the Madison Square Garden performance are worth the view. As a follow-up from a while ago, I have recently stayed at 2 different Super 8 motels, one planned and one unplanned, which I've never been to before, but both exceeded expectations. Thank you, Madman. Yes, when your expectations are no bed bugs, it's very easy to exceed those. And
Draconosaurus. Draconosaurus. Draconosaurus.
Draconis wrote, I know this isn't comedy music related, but Ozzy Osbourne passed away Tuesday at 76. May he rest in peace, and my condolences to his family. Yeah, of all the celebrities out there, I honestly thought Ozzy was immortal, and I thought he was just never going to die. But apparently not.
A-Log! Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, congrats to Dr. Demento on getting this award. That man deserves both that and the love and admiration of many within the music world. It's still a shame that today's generation doesn't know who he is, let alone what a DJ or a radio is. Once more, I weep for the future is so stupid. Thank you, A-Log. And Beth Patterson wrote, we must remain absurd to protect the world from its own stupidity. I agree. All right, that's it for feedback. People in the chat, see if you can start think up topics for Spotify, because I'm going to need one.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah. Tomorrow's song is by Dino Mike. And Tuesday's song is by Dan Warren. All right, chat, what do you got? I need a topic for a Spotify playlist. Can't come up with anything. I'm just going to pick another FuMP artist I can do who we haven't previously done. All right, let's see who we've done. We did Sea Monkey, Power Salad, Ian, Worm Quartet, Luke, Devo Spice. You know what? Let's do Carla. We haven't done any of the ladies yet. Mayors, senators, presidents, elected officials. I'm going to have to think about that one. I don't know a lot of those songs. I know Dr. Demento has played some along those lines, but I don't know enough of that music. So what I'll do is I'll put that down as a future topic. Maybe next week we can revisit that. Elected officials. And this week I'm just going to do Carla. So Carla Ulbrich will be the playlist topic. All right, Belle Isle Rats are at belleislerats.com. Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction are at roadsideattraction.com. And Luke Ski is at ComiCon. Let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice. Luke is not here, and the rats were. So was Phil, sort of.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
I got me a new toy. Check it out.